Right, so let's proceed to the next topic, which is about adding the JSON parser in the express.js. So, uh, so we first look at what is JSON, and JSON in full it stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So when we were looking at the JavaScript, we looked at the concept of objects, and we said an object is a way we write or we store multiple properties about some entity, and the way we write an object is that we use the curly braces, and within that curly braces the data is written in form of a key value pair. All right, so we have, for example, in this case we have the key is name, then we have the value, the actual name, email, which is the key, then we have the value, the email value, h is a key, then the value 25. So this is the way we write um, objects or a JSON objects in JavaScript. So this JSON is the main format for storing and exchanging data between the server and the client, and it's a lightweight. The reason that's why we use JSON is because previously, before JSON, you realize the older applications were using XML for exchanging data, but the problem with XML is that it is heavy and it has a lot of syntax, and because of that it is now replaced with a JSON, so that when you want to communicate between servers you use the JSON format because it's a lightweight format of exchanging the data. Okay, so when we send data from a client, and in this case the client, we said it could be the Postman client, could be the React application, it could be Angular, it could be a mobile app. So this data comes in form of a JSON format, like the way we are seeing here. So when we are sending the data to the backend, this data is normally in a JSON format. And if the data is in a JSON format, then your server, your API server, which in this case is our Express server, needs to understand that data. It needs to convert that data in order to understand it and to make it available within the application using the request body. All right, so without using the parser, this request body will give us an error saying undefined. You see here, when we are sending data, we are sending this data in a body, so we select body, and then within the body we put this JSON format. Then when the data gets to the backend, we extract it in the body, so we say request.body. So we are getting the data in the body, and therefore if there is no that parser added, this body will give us a null value. It will give us undefined value, and that will give us an error. So how do we add this JSON parser? Simple, we just import the Express library in our application, and then we add the parser middleware using this line of code, app.use express.json. And that's why if you come in our index.js, someone is not muting, Calvin's can mute. All right, so after you have created your application, of course you would have imported the Express library. Then after importing Express library, you make sure before anything you add this line, which is the parser. It helps you to convert the data between JSON formats. So you use express.json, and that's how you add a parser. If now I remove this line, let me delete it and save the changes. Then now I try to send the request again. It will give me this error saying type error, it cannot destructure property as it is undefined. So if you come back on your backend and you look at the console here, you'll see that the request.body is undefined because Express cannot be able to understand the request body without uh, converting it or without the JSON parser. All right, so you have to undo that and make sure this one is added. So now when you add this JSON parser, now you send the request for the second time. I think it is still not up, so let me check if it is up. Yeah, now it's running. Send the request again. So again it tells you post added successfully. So we have it now goes successfully. So now if you go to your database, you should see that now we have two values. So let's refresh this record. There's a button for refreshing. May look around here. Yeah, so refresh here. So when you refresh now, you have two records in your post table, which is the first record and this other second record. Alright, so any questions so far on adding the JSON parser? In case you have a question, you can ask for clarification.